Good morning, everyone. My name is Judge Tamika West Bernard. I will be presiding over the first appearance hearing calendar for today. I will swear you in first, make some opening remarks regarding your rights and the process. And then after concluding my opening remarks, I will give each of you your first appearance for today. So if everyone, and for the record, we are streaming via live YouTube. The defendants are appearing via Zoom at Clayton County Jail. Okay, at this time, if each inmate will raise their right hand. Do you swear and affirm that the information that you give to the court, as well as the information that you included on your court-appointed application, is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge? Okay, I do. Okay, you can put your hands down. First, this is your first appearance before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. We are not here to try your case or to take a plea today. You are here for the court to inform you of the charges against you, advise you of certain rights, set bail on those offenses for which the court is authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing during these proceedings. But should you choose to give up this right, anything you say during these proceedings may be used against you if your case goes to trial. Doing this and all other court proceedings, you have the right to the presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or accusations for misdemeanors. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury. You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine all witnesses who are called to testify against you. You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses in your own behalf by subpoena. You also have the right to testify and offer other evidence in your own defense should you choose to do so. But should you choose not to do so, no presumption of your guilt may be raised. You have the right to have an attorney represent you during these proceedings and all other court proceedings. If you qualify for a court-appointed attorney, we will appoint an attorney to represent you. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds pending your release from jail, pending prosecution of your case. Your bond may be by cash, commercial, or property. If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the cash bond together with any applicable fees to the sheriff's office, who will hold it until your final court date, at which time it will be returned to the person who posted it. If you use a commercial bonding company approved by the sheriff's office, someone will have to pay the company up to 15% of the total bond as their fee for their service. This fee will not be returned. Some of you may post bonds using their property if they have net equity in the property in an amount equal to 3 times the total amount of the bond. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond order that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going around certain places. These special conditions will be provided on your bond order. You will also be prohibited from calling or having contact with the alleged victim while you're in jail and while you're out on bond. Should you choose to violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you will not be entitled to another bond while awaiting trial. An additional charge of aggravated stalking, influencing witnesses, or other charges as the law may provide could be brought against you, for which you could be sentenced up to 10 years in prison and fined up to $20,000. For family members who will assist you in posting bond, they will be provided with information of your bond amount after we have concluded the first appearance calendar for today. If a family member is an alleged victim on the warrant and there's a special condition that you're to have no contact with that family member, he or she will not be allowed to post bond. Some of you will be charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a superior court judge, and you will be informed of that day at your first appearance hearing. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized by law to set a bond. Your bond can be reconsidered after your probation officer has an opportunity to determine if they wish to file a warrant for violation of your probation. This is usually during your preliminary hearing. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine if there is enough evidence or probable cause to justify keeping you detained until such time as your case goes to trial. For those of you charged with misdemeanors only, you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Waiving your preliminary hearing will not affect your right to post bond, your right to have an attorney represent you, or your right to a jury trial. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived, and you will be mailed a notice of when you appear in state court for arraignment. If you cannot make bond, you may waive your preliminary hearing and be taken before a state court judge, at which time, if you plead guilty, you will be sentenced. If you plead not guilty, a trial will be scheduled on your behalf. If you choose to have a misdemeanor preliminary hearing, your hearing will be scheduled for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. For those of you charged with felony offenses, you will not have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Your preliminary hearing will be scheduled for February the 1st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. That will conclude my opening remarks. At this time, I will start with the female inmates and then proceed forward. Once we conclude the female inmates, then I will begin with the male inmates. At this time, deputies, you can present the first female inmate to me, and then I'll do the extradition last for the male inmate. Okay, please state your full name for the record.
State your full name.
I can't hear you, ma'am. Please speak up. You said Johnson? Okay, Deputy, can we do them in alphabetical order? Words, Ms. Clay, Khadijah. If we go in alphabetical order, is her name is Jada Khadijah Clay? Is that you, Ms. Clay? Okay, thank you. Ms. Clay, you've been charged with 2 offenses. The first offense is battery. Your bond amount is $5,000. The second offense is obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Your bond amount is $1,500. Therefore, your total bond is $6,500. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amounts?
No, I don't understand my charges.
Okay, well, according to the warrant, specifically which charge you don't understand, the battery or the obstruction?
Battery. The battery.
Okay, specifically according to the warrant, it states that you committed the offense of battery family violence by intentionally scratching the right side of Jenna K. Clay's lip. The victim and the said offender had a verbal altercation. The said offender escalated to bodily harm by using her hands to scratch the victim in the facial area, causing a superficial laceration with redness in the affected area. Said offender also committed the offense of obstruction by knowingly and willingly hindering the officer from effecting an arrest by struggling, actively resisting arrest while the officer was performing a handcuffing technique. And said offender attempted to flee the incident location by running away. That's the factual basis and probable cause for the charge. Do you understand the charges and your bond amounts? No, you don't have to agree with it. I just want to make sure you understand what they're alleging. You can disagree, Ms. Clay. Okay. Okay, your bond is $6,500. Do you know if you can make bond?
No, I won't be able to ever make bond.
Okay.
I got a baby. My mom got cancer. She got my 2 kids. I gotta get out, and that bond is way too high. I don't have no money to get out.
Okay.
She can't take care.
Okay, ma'am. So I've given you your bond amount. That is the bond amount. Okay, that I've given you. If you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order. The first condition is you're to have no contact with the alleged victim by the name of Jenna K. Clay, which means you must stay away absolutely, directly, indirectly, by mail, by email, by social media, by text message, by telephone. You cannot contact Ms. Clay through a third person. You cannot go to her home or workplace. In addition, because the alleged incident occurred at 2507 Rex Road, Building 1, Apartment C, Ellenwood. Let me finish. Do not speak when I'm speaking. Okay, you're not to return to that location while you're out on bond. If that is your primary location, I will include a provision in my order that will allow you to make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to retrieve any undisputed personal property. Also, you cannot violate any other laws while out on bond. Those are the special conditions of your bond order. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. And you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I have an appointed attorney to represent you. That will conclude your first appearance hearing for today, Ms. Clay. You have a nice day. Thank you.
I can't get a,
Thank you. That will conclude your first appearance hearing. Thank you.
that's crazy.
I see on the left. On the left.
Okay, state your full name for me.
Faith Monet Johnson.
Okay, Ms. Johnson, you were charged with one offense of criminal trespass. Your bond amount is $2,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
No.
You say no, you don't understand the charge? Okay. According to the warrant, the probable cause stated that that the offender intentionally damaged a property, a television, Miss Padina Newsom Pittman, by picking it up and throwing it on the ground. The television is no longer had picture on the screen after being powered on. Said offender also damaged the wall behind the television. Said offender stated she has anger problems and the television is broken, but did not provide any further statement on the incident. Said victim valued the damage at $300. Said victim is the mother of said accused. This incident occurred in Clayton County, Georgia. That's the probable cause for the criminal trespass warrant. Can you make bond, Ms. Johnson? Okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date? If you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order. Specifically, you cannot return to the incident location identified at 7124-BJ89 South Lake Parkway, Morrow, Georgia 30260. Is that your primary residence? Okay, if that's your primary resident, I will include a provision in the order that will allow you to make an appointment with the sheriff also within 10 days of your release to retrieve any undisputed personal property. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar? If you are unsure, we can leave it on the calendar. Okay, we will leave it on the calendar. You indicated on your court-appointed form that you were employed, but you did not provide your monthly wages. Can you give me an estimate now? Do you have an estimate of how much money you make a month, Miss Johnson? Okay, can you give me a range? Okay, you what's your hourly rate? What's your hourly rate, Ms. Johnson? Do you not need a court-appointed attorney?
Your Honor, I don't think she understands.
Okay. Okay, so I'll go ahead and appoint an attorney to represent you. That will conclude your first appearance hearing for today. Thank you, Ms. Johnson.
State your full name. Yeah, she will.
Okay, give me your full name, please.
Aisha Casey Kinch.
Ms. Kent, you've been charged with one count of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Your bond amount is $3,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes.
Can you make bond?
Yes.
I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date? You understand that's your next court date, Ms. Kinch?
January 31st?
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar? If you're unsure, you can keep it on the calendar.
I'm not sure.
Okay, we'll keep it on the calendar. You completed an application for court-appointed counsel. You indicated that you have a job, but you didn't include your monthly wages. Can you give me an estimate of your monthly wages?
Anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000.
Okay. So you would qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I will approve an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions? Okay,
No.
thank you. Can you state your full name for me?
Gabrielle McGee.
Spell your first name for me.
Fabriroe.
Okay, just want to make sure I had the right person. Miss McGee, you've been charged with 1 count of battery. Your bond amount is $5,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount? Can you make bond? Okay. If you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order. The first condition is you're to have no contact with the alleged victim in the case, and also I believe a co-defendant by the name of Portia Decker. Do you recognize that name?
Yes,
Okay, who's that to you?
my oldest sister.
Okay, because you got into an altercation with her. There's a no contact. Yesterday I had her first appearance, and I issued a no contact against you, which means y'all to have no contact with each other, which means you must stay away. Absolutely, directly, indirectly, by mail, by email, by pager, by text message, by social media, by telephone. You cannot contact her through a third person. You cannot go to her home or workplace. You understand that? And the incident, because the incident occurred at 7208 Meadow Circle, Atlanta, Georgia 30349. You're not to return to that location while you're out on bond. Is that your primary residence?
That's my mother home.
Okay, that's your mom home. Okay. You
That's,
don't have any undisputed personal property there?
no, just paperwork.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and include, in this case, you need to get your paperwork that you can return to that location if you make an appointment with the sheriff or within 10 days of your release to retrieve any undisputed personal property at that location, okay?
Yes.
Okay, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date?
So I have to be here until January 31st?
Well, if you can't bond out, I've set bond for you. So if you can't bond out, your next court date is going to be January the 31st, okay? And then I see,
Okay.
let me finish. I see that you did complete an application for court-appointed counsel. You would qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So I have approved that request, okay? So that will conclude your first appearance for today. Have a nice day. Thank you. Okay, state your full name for me.
Shantaria Morris.
Okay. Ms. Morris, you've been charged with 1 count of simple battery. Your bond amount is $4,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes,
Okay, can you make bond?
yes.
Okay. If you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order. Specifically, you're to have no contact with the alleged victim. I'm sorry, no violent contact with the alleged victim in the case by the name of Johnny Jones. You recognize that name? Okay, who's that?
It's my
That's your
grandfather.
grandfather, correct? Okay, so I'm just gonna do a no violent contact. It seems you guys are disputing over, I assume, a very sensitive issue regarding your brother's funeral, okay? So again, it's gonna be no violent contact with Mr. Jones. You understand that? Okay, and then you can't violate any other laws while out on bond. You understand that? Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar?
Keep it on the course calendar.
Okay. And you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I have approved an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Good luck, Ms. Morris. I'm sorry, do we have Merriweather? Stacy Lynn? That's the mother.
Merriweather is in there.
Stacy Lynn?
Stacy Lynn Merriweather.
Merriweather.
Yes.
You married Meriwether?
She right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, state your full name for me.
Stacy Lynn Merriweather.
Ms. Merriweather, you've been charged with 1 offense, simple assault. Your bond amount is $3,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes,
Okay, can
ma'am.
you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, would you like to waive that or keep it on the calendar?
What do you mean by waive it?
Which means we'll take it off the calendar. If you bond out, it will automatically be waived. So if you're unsure as to whether you can bond out, I would recommend you leave it on the calendar. Because that will be your next court date.
I can bond out.
Okay, so do you want to waive it or do you want to keep it on the calendar? If you're unsure, you can just keep it on your calendar.
Yeah, just keep it on the calendar.
Let's just do that. And then if you bond out, it's automatically waived, okay? Okay, and then if you can make bond, there is also a special condition of your bond is that you're to have no violent contact with the alleged victim by the name of Johnny Jones. That's your father, correct? Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
because of that physical altercation, you're to have, well, I guess it started with a verbal altercation. You're to have no violent contact with him. You understand what no violent contact means?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I have appointed attorney represent you. Do you have any questions?
I just needed to know, if I'll be able to, never mind, never mind.
Well, go ahead, I'm listening.
No,
If
I
you'll be
was
able
just
to
trying,
what?
if I don't be able to bond out, I was trying to see if I could get, if I do need to see if about getting a earlier court date because I was trying to plan my son's funeral.
Yes, I saw that the dispute was over your son's funeral, and I would like to express my condolences to you for that. However, no, that's the earliest court date we have is January 31st. Okay,
That's fine.
okay. But hopefully if you bond out, then it'll be, it won't be an issue. Okay, so that's why I did a no valid contact, and then I'm not prohibiting you from returning to, I'm not certain if is that your father's location or your location where the incident occurred?
I used to stay there. I don't stay there anymore. I moved out of state.
Okay, okay. Well, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, please state your full name for me.
Tanya Mayar Scott.
Okay, Ms. Scott. You've been charged with 2 offenses. The first offense is driving on a suspended or revoked license. Your bond amount is $1,500. The second offense is failure to stop or yield at a sign. Your bond amount is $500. Therefore, your total bond is $2,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, can you make bond?
Yes, my sister, I already paid for it.
Already paid for it? Okay, yeah, no problem. I'll schedule your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar?
Can you repeat that? Can you
I've
repeat the
scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023. Would you like to
Okay,
waive
that's
it or keep it on the court's calendar? You're not sure? Okay, if you're not sure, we'll leave it on the calendar. Okay, and then if you bond out, it'll automatically be waived. You understand that? Okay. And then you did not complete an application for court-appointed counsel. It says you refused. Do you not need a court-appointed attorney?
No, yeah.
Are you gonna hire your own attorney?
No.
Okay, well, I would say it's recommended that you have one in place, and then if you don't need it, then that attorney can just withdraw. So if you have a job, do you have a job?
I'm self-employed.
You said technically?
I'm self-employed.
You self-employed? Okay. And do you have an estimate of your monthly wages?
2,000.
2,000. Okay, so you will qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So I'll go ahead and appoint an attorney to represent you. And then, like I said, if you don't need it, then it's not a problem. They can just withdraw from the case. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, please state your full name for me.
Anna Maria Tunian.
You've been charged with 3 offenses. The first offense is violation exceeding the maximum speed limits in the state of Georgia. Your bond amount is $500. The second offense is possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond amount is $1,500. Your third offense, violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. The bond amount is $5,000. Therefore, your total bond is $7,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond? You're not certain? Okay.
Sure, Your Honor.
No problem. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for February the 1st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date?
January 31st, Your Honor?
No, February the 1st. Because it's a
February.
the violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act is a felony. So you'll be on our felony calendar. You understand that? Okay, and then you completed your application for court-appointed counsel. You indicated that you had a job, but you didn't provide your monthly wages. Can you give me an estimate today?
Say about 2,000.
Okay. So you would qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, well, good luck. Thank you.
I mean, yeah, come in.
Okay, we got one more. I got one more female inmate deputies, correct?
Yes, ma'am. He's
Okay,
right there.
state your full name for me.
Leah Verdun.
Okay, you've been charged with 1 count of battery. Your bond amount is $5,000. Do you understand the charge? What's the bond amount?
Can you repeat that?
You've been charged with 1 count of battery, family violence. Your bond amount is $5,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes.
Okay, can you make bond?
No.
Okay. Now, if you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order. First, you're to have no contact with the alleged victims in the case, that specifically Harriet Green and Joseph Vonner. I believe that's your mother and brother, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you're to have no contact, which means you must stay away absolutely, directly, indirectly, by mail, by email, by pager, by telephone. You cannot contact them through social media, through text message, through a third person. You cannot go to their home or workplace. Also, because the alleged incident occurred at 8267 Greenview Drive, Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236, you're not to return to that location while you're out on bond. Is that your primary residence?
Yes.
Okay, if you say yes. Okay, if it is, I will allow you to make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to retrieve any undisputed personal property at that location. You understand that? But you'll need to make arrangements since the incident occurred at that location. It's a family violence issue. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, I'll schedule your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date? Okay. And then you did qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I have approved your application for an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you.
Your Honor, that's all the females. We're bringing out the males right now.
Okay, that's all I have too. Thank you, Deputy.
Jonathan Benz.
Okay, Mr. Benz, you've been charged with 1 count of trafficking marijuana. Because of the nature of the charge, only a superior court judge can set bail for you today. Therefore, it's a no bond. Do you understand the charge as well as the no bond?
Yes.
I've scheduled your next court date for February the 1st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date?
February the 1st.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then you completed the application for court-appointed counsel. You would qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I have approved an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
When do I talk to them?
They'll reach out to you. It'll likely be either on or before your preliminary hearing date, which is February the 1st. Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Step up, sir. Say your full name.
My name is Joshua Brothers.
Mr. Brothers, you've been charged with one count of making terroristic threats. Your bond amount is $10,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you make bond?
Yeah, I can. I'm waiting on my mom. I gotta wait on somebody to make it. How much is it? Altogether, you say 10,000, right?
It's just, you got one charge, so it's $10,000. It's a
Okay.
misdemeanor, but it's still a serious charge. If you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order. The first condition is you to have no contact with the alleged victim in the case by the name of Angela Reese. You recognize that name?
My baby mama.
Okay,
I
because
didn't
you
even
made
know.
because she's the alleged victim, you must stay away, absolutely, directly, indirectly, by mail, by email, by pager, by text message, by social media, by telephone. You cannot contact her through a third person. You cannot contact her or go to her home or workplace. You understand that, sir? Also, because the alleged incident occurred at 7308 Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236, you're not to return to that location while you're out on bond. You understand that? Those are the special conditions of your bond, sir. Also, you cannot violate any laws while out on bond. I scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date, sir? And then you would qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I have an appointed attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
Well,
Okay, thank you, sir.
Step up, sir. Say your full name.
Rodney first.
Mr. Chris, you've been charged with two offenses. The first offense is improper lane change. Your bond amount is $500. The second offense is DUI, alcohol less safe. Your bond amount is $5,000. Therefore, your total bond amount is $5,500. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount? Can you make bond? You're not certain? No problem. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date? Okay, and because you, based on your application for court-appointed counsel, you would not qualify for a court-appointed counsel, so you will have to hire your own attorney. You understand that, sir? Okay, do you have any questions? Thank you.
Sir, so now, yeah, step up, sir, give your full name.
Latavius Hines.
Okay, and deputies, while I go on, I need to make sure, do you have inmate Danjo? Apparently, it was indicated that he was bonding out, but I understand he was unable to do so. So if he hasn't bonded out, I'll need to do his first appearance hearing today.
Your Honor, could you repeat that name again, ma'am?
Well, you have it as, it's Danjo, AKA Banjo, the last name.
I will go look from Your Honor.
I'm sorry, deputies,
Yes,
I
Your Honor.
didn't hear you.
I said, I will go look from Your Honor. I think he already bonded out.
Okay, because they told me he had bonded out. Do you need his LE number?
Man, we have it. We're gonna check right now, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you said you're Mr. Johnson, correct?
Latavius Hines.
Okay. You've been charged with two offenses. The first offense is loitering. The bond amount is $1,000. Your second offense is possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond amount is $1,500. Therefore, your total bond is $2,500. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond?
Yes.
Okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing? Keep it on the calendar.
Second, the last part.
Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing? It's scheduled for January the 31st.
What does that mean?
Which means if you waive it, we'll take it off the calendar. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine if there's sufficient probable cause to continue to detain you in jail. Okay, so if you're unsure, we can leave it on the calendar, okay?
Okay.
Okay. And then you did not complete an application for court, let's see here, did you? I don't think they gave you the opportunity to complete an application for court-appointed counsel. Do you need a court-appointed attorney, sir?
No. No, ma'am.
You said no? I need to understand you, sir. Do you need a court-appointed attorney? Do you have a job?
Not at the moment.
Okay. So what I'll do is, because you don't have a job, I'll go ahead and appoint an attorney to represent you. Okay, have a nice day, sir. Thank you. Okay, give me your full name, sir.
Kobe Jets.
I'm sorry, deputies. I need to go in alphabetical order. It's very confusing if we're not going in alphabetical order. So
Your Honor.
what about Hines?
Hines.
She just seen mine.
You just saw Hines, man.
I don't have. No, I didn't just see Hines. I must have thought it was someone else.
That was Hines, man.
Sir, you need to step over there.
Let me see Hines again, because obviously, yeah, there must be some confusion. I thought who I just saw was Johnson. I thought I just saw Johnson.
What's your last name, man? You said his last name was Hines.
Okay,
Step back in front screen.
okay, well, where's Trayvon Johnson? Is he there?
Johnson would have,
Yeah, Trayvon Johnson.
he bonded out, Your Honor.
They told me he has not bonded out.
The sheets I sent over should have had OTB at the top.
I know, but when we
Bonded out.
checked the system and we, Miss Mary, did you call the court and they said he had not bonded out? Because they sent me over his warrant.
That's correct. They said he hadn't bonded out yet.
We're gonna double check on that, Your Honor.
Okay, so
We'll
that's a no.
double check.
Okay, so I thought that was Johnson. Mr. Hines, I'll need to see him again because he was given the incorrect charges. I thought it was Johnson, he said. Okay. Spell your name, spell your full name, say your full name and spell it for me, sir.
Atavius, Atavieyas.
Okay. Last name is Hines?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I apologize, sir. So your charges are completely different. So I'm gonna go over each one of them slowly because you have 6 pending charges. So you have the first charge is violation, Georgia, traffic laws where you exceeded the maximum speed limit. The bond amount is $500. The second charge is driving without insurance. The bond amount is $1,000. The third charge is violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of manufacturing and distribution and selling. The bond amount is $10,000. The next charge is driving on a suspended or revoked license. The bond amount is $1,500. The next charge is knowingly driving a motor vehicle on a suspended or canceled registration. The bond amount is $1,000. The last charge is drug-related use or possession of drug-related objects. The bond amount is $1,500. Therefore, your total bond is $15,500. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amounts?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you make bond?
No.
You say yes?
No, ma'am.
No, okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for February the 1st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then let's see here. You did not complete a request for court-appointed counsel. It says you refused. Do you need an attorney, sir? I think we talked about that before. I think you told me you were unemployed, correct? I didn't hear you, sir, correct? You were unemployed?
Yes, ma'am.
So I have an appointed attorney to represent you. So that will conclude your first appearance. Thank you. Can you state your full name for me?
Kobe Jets.
Spell that for me.
JACOBY JACKSON.
Okay. Mr. Jackson, you've been charged with one count of trafficking marijuana. Because of the nature of your charge, I'm not authorized to set bond for you today. Only a Superior Court judge can do that. Therefore, there's a no bond. Do you understand the charge as well as the no bond? Okay, scheduled your preliminary hearing for February the 1st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date? And your bond hearing will be scheduled for February the 3rd, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Based on, you also refuse to complete your court-appointed application. Do you not need an attorney? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, sir.
I got one already.
You've hired your own attorney? Okay, you certain?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, sir, give me your full name. Okay. You said Lamar, correct? Okay. Mr. Lamar, I need to see your face. Okay. Thank you. Sir, you've been charged with 2 offenses. The first offense is simple assault. Your bond amount is $3,000. The second offense is reckless conduct. Your bond amount is $2,000. Therefore, your total bond is $5,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you make bond?
It's two Lamars. You got Dansha Lamar?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question, sir.
Dansha Lamar?
I didn't understand your question, sir.
You asked my last name. They got two Lamars, and I was saying I'm Dansha Lamar.
Yeah, I only have one Lamar on my list, but you're Dunshay Latrell. Is that your middle name? Is Latrell your middle name?
Latrell?
Latrell,
Yep.
that's your middle name, correct? You said yes? Okay, so again, your bond amount is $5,000. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for February the 1st, I'm sorry, January 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date, sir? And then you also refuse to complete your request for court-appointed counsel. Do you not need an attorney?
No, ma'am.
You're gonna hire your own attorney, sir?
Okay, bud.
You say yes?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Y'all speak clearly. Go back to L7.
Okay. Give me your full name, sir.
Reginald McCreary.
Okay, give me a minute to pull your file, sir. Spell your last name for me, sir.
MCCRIMON.
Okay, so you've been charged with one count of party to commission of a crime. Your bond amount is $4,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
I've set your preliminary hearing for January 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you did start completing the application for court appointed, but you didn't answer the question of whether or not you have a job. Do you have a job?
No, ma'am. Not at the moment.
Okay, so you would qualify for a court appointed attorney, so I'll approve an attorney for you. Okay, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, sir, give me your full name.
Hassan Rice.
Okay, Mr. Rice, you've been charged with 2 offenses. The first offense is possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Your bond amount is $1,500. The second offense is obstruction or hindrance of your license plate. The bond amount is $500. Therefore, your total bond is $2,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
You say yes? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I scheduled your preliminary hearing for January 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. Would you like to waive the preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar? You're not sure? Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing?
Need your preliminary hearing, she'll waive it. If you bond out, then it automatically be waived. So let her know what you want to do. So you want to keep it on the calendar, you want to?
No, I'll waive it.
You sure? You're certain? Okay, so you'll need this. Okay, you seem unsure, sir. So,
I'll keep it on the calendar.
okay, that's what I was gonna say. We'll just keep it on the calendar. And then you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I've approved your application. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Can you please give me your full name?
Samuel Gray.
Mr. Gray, is the last name Samuel, correct?
My last name is Gray and first name is Samuel.
Okay. You've been charged with 1 count of theft by receiving stolen property. Your bond amount is $2,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you make bond?
Not right now.
Okay. You also completed, well, first, let me get your preliminary hearing date. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be January 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date? It'll be January 31st. Okay, and then you started to complete your application for court-appointed counsel, but you did not finish it. Do you need a court-appointed attorney?
Yes.
Okay, do you have a job?
No.
Okay. So you would qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I'll approve your application, okay? Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, give me your full name, sir.
Hey, John Tyus.
Mr. Taj, you've been charged with 1 count of giving an inmate guns, drug, alcohol, or other prohibited items, or having it in your possession. Your bond amount is $2,500. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount? Okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for February the 1st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date, sir? Okay, and then you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I have a appointed attorney to represent you on that charge. You understand that, sir? Okay, thank you. Yes, give me your full name, sir.
Emmett Josh Williford.
Hey, sir, you've been charged with 3 offenses. The first offense is operating a vehicle with, I guess, defective brake lights or signals. Your bond amount is $500. The second offense, possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond amount is $1,500. The third offense, violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. The bond amount is $6,000. Therefore, your total bond is $8,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make
Yes,
bond?
ma'am.
Okay.
My Blake.
Okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for February the 1st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date, sir? It'll be February the 1st. You understand that? Yes?
Ma'am.
Your next
Ma'am.
court date is February the 1st.
Okay, I understand that, yeah.
Okay. You also completed your application for court-appointed counsel, but you didn't answer the question as to whether you have a job. Do you have a job?
I don't have a job.
So you would qualify for a court-appointed attorney, sir, so I'll approve your application. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, Deputy, before we move on to the extradition hearing, can we get a status on Mr. Johnson? If
Okay,
not,
Your
I can
Honor.
just go forward with the extradition. Hopefully we'll have an answer before I can close out the calendar.
Have all 4 of them, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Have all 4 of them. We have Mr. Danjo, Mr. Dowdell, Mr. Johnson, and Mr. Mann.
Okay, they didn't tell me. You guys told me man had bonded out. I don't have paperwork for man, but I can.
I'm about to see.
today.
I'm about to send you their paperwork right now, Your Honor.
Oh, you about to send it to me now? How kind of you, Deputy.
We thought they were gone, Your Honor. Sorry about that.
Okay, so so I have left Danjo, Johnson. Okay, and then we added man to the list, and then we have the extradition hearing, correct?
Dowdell too.
I'm sorry, give me the last name.
Dowdell Terrence, Dowdell, Dowdell.
Oh, okay, so you sending me the paperwork for him too?
Yes, Your
'Cause
Honor. I got all four of
I
the papers.
I didn't get any warrants for him as well.
Do you want me to go ahead and send them and make them sit down until you do the extradition, Your Honor?
No, I can do, who do you have? I have the paperwork for Danjo, and I have the paperwork for Johnson. I can do both of them now.
And then just go ahead and.
I don't have the paperwork for man, and I don't have the paperwork for McDowell.
Okay.
So I would need warrants and criminal history.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. I
Ms. Mary, can
think these are.
call-
So are you gonna get them or should I call classifications?
I would say go ahead and call classification just to make sure.
Okay, so who am I calling for? Dowell?
Which I asked about, Terrence Dowell,
Dowdell.
and we got DeAndre Mann, Mann.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
Deputy Ford is faxing those over to you now. Do you want to go ahead and do the extradition first and come back to these gentlemen after you receive the paperwork?
No, I'm gonna do the first two now, and then I'll do the extradition.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm sorry, Debbie, are they sending over both the warrants and the criminal history?
You send the criminal history too, Ford? The
Oh,
clerk
Miss
have to
Mary,
put
you
that
have to
down.
call. They said they don't do that.
That's why I asked.
That's why I told you had to go ahead and call.
Yeah, we was understanding that they told us that these guys had bonded out. It was in actuality, they got bonds, but only one guy actually bonded out.
Okay, well, there is a difference. So next time we need to make sure we're clear.
That's what they told us this morning.
Well, I know the first one that I checked on, well, the two that I checked on was Johnson and I believe the other gentleman, Danjo. And I know they definitely said they hadn't bonded out, but I didn't know about the other two. So no problem. We can get them done today. If I have to go off the record and review it, that's not a problem. I just like to avoid that.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Okay. So I'm gonna do, because I need to get, I'm gonna do the Mr. Is this Mr. Johnson in the camera? Okay, who am I speaking to?
Angel, ma'am.
Okay, no
Danjo.
problem. Okay, I got him now. Okay, great. Sir, do you also go by, is it Danjo or Banjo? We have two different last names.
Spell my name wrong.
Okay, what is your legal name? Remember you under, what is your legal name?
Danjo, Danjo.
So it is Danjo. Okay, spell your first name for me.
Mustapha, Mustafa.
Okay. So sir, you have two charges pending. Lottery, your bond amount is $1,000. The second offense is possession of marijuana, less than an ounce, your bond amount is $1,500. Therefore, your total bond is $2,500. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
I do have a question about one of the charges.
Oh, okay. What is your question? What's your question? He can ask, what's your question?
The lawyer in charge, I got charged with that, but like I lived there. That's where I've been living there 18 years. So
Well, remember what I said? Remember what I said, that you have the right to remain silent, and we're not here to try your case today. So it's just an allegation. You understand? So you're allowed to present a defense, okay, at the appropriate time. But I'm just here. My only purpose here today is to set bond for you and then to give you your preliminary hearing date. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date?
Is there where I could do that on Zoom? Because I don't currently live in Georgia anymore. I live in Maryland now.
Okay. Do you think you're gonna be able to bond out?
I have the money. I can bond out myself, but
okay. Well, you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing if you're gonna bond out. If you bond out, it's automatically waived, and then you would not have to appear. You understand?
So for bonding out, I just gotta pay the 10%, right?
But no, it's 15, well, depending on how you pay, Alan can set bond. I'm not involved in the arrangement, but it depends on how you're gonna post bond. Whether it be a cash bond, commercial, or property, okay? But your bond amount is 2,500, okay? And then I've set your preliminary hearing date for January 31st, 2023. And let me see, did you complete an application for court-appointed counsel? Because they didn't have you completed. Do you need a court-appointed attorney?
Yes.
Okay, do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you give me an estimate of your monthly wages?
$2,000.
Okay, so you will qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So we'll get an attorney to represent you on those two charges. Okay, sir? Okay, that will conclude your first appearance hearing for today. Thank you. Okay, state your full name for me.
Travion Johnson.
Okay, Mr. Johnson. Nice to meet you. We thought you had bonded out here.
Nah, they had me sitting out in the holder cell.
Okay, no problem. So I want to give you your charges so you can know what your bond amount is, okay? So I have you charged with two charges. The first is laundering. Your bond amount is $1,000. And then the second offense is possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Your bond amount is $1,500. So your bond is $2,500. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, can you make bond?
Yes, Your Honor, yeah, okay.
Okay, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and let's see, did you complete an application for court-appointed counsel?
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
recall? I think they probably didn't give it to you. Let's see here, Johnson.
Your Honor, there should be, Deputy King should be faxing those over now.
Okay, the court-appointed form too?
Four, my bad.
Okay.
Ma'am, he's gonna be faxing those 4 over to you.
Okay, no problem. I can just ask him now. Sir, are you employed?
Your Honor?
She wanna get a
No,
job.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes. Yes, I got it.
Okay. And what's your estimated monthly wages?
$2,000.
Okay, so you would qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So I will appoint an attorney to represent you on those two charges. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Would you like to see the last two, Your Honor, right now?
Yes, do you have them ready? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to go off the record. So let me do that because I haven't reviewed the criminal history. So let me do the extradition hearing and then I'll go off the record and review the warrant and criminal history, and then I'll come back with the order, with the bond.
Yes, ma'am. Extradition is right here, Your Honor. Take your hand
Okay.
out the judge.
Okay, good afternoon, sir. My name is Judge Tamika West Bernard. I am presiding over your extradition hearing for today. All the rights that I have advised everyone of previously also apply in your case, but your hearing is just a little bit different from the other first appearance hearing that have taken place today. First, you do not have charges pending against you here in Clayton County. You have been brought to court today because you have charges pending against you in another state, and they're requesting that you return to the state of Oregon to answer for the offense of rape. You understand that, sir? Are you in fact, give me your full name, sir. Okay, that's your legal name? Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
now do you already have an attorney representing you in this matter?
No, not
In the
yet.
extradition? Or the
Not yet.
charge offense? Do you
Not yet.
understand me, sir?
I do, ma'am. I understand you, ma'am.
Okay, do you have an attorney representing you?
No, but on the form they gave me a sign that I want to come.
Okay, now you understand that you're being charged with being a fugitive from justice. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to OCGA Title 17, Chapter 13. As you've heard, it is alleged that you are charged with a crime in the state of Oregon, and the state of Oregon is requesting that you return to that state to answer to the charge. You have a choice as to whether you wish to contest extradition or waive extradition and be returned to the state of Oregon without going through the formal extradition process. If you decide that you wish to contest extradition, the court will commit you to the county jail for an initial period of 30 days. If during the 30-day period, the state of Oregon or officials from the state of Oregon do not come and detain you, then you will be released. You understand that? Okay, so if you contest the extradition, then you could be committed to the county jail for an additional 60 days. During that time, a warrant will be prepared under the governor's signature for your extradition to the other state. The court may consider allowing you to post bond, but this court is not required to allow you to post bond. As you are wanted by the state of Oregon, I'm not setting bond for you in your case at this time. If you do wish to voluntarily return to the state of Oregon to answer the charge, you may file, if you do not wish to voluntarily return, you may file what we call a writ of habeas corpus to contest the extradition. Okay, it's like a petition that you file with the court. The writ of habeas corpus can only contest 4 things. The first is whether the extradition documents are in order on their face. The second ground is whether you are charged with a crime that actually exists in the demanding state. In this case, it will be the state of Oregon. Third is whether you are the person named in the request for extradition. And fourth, whether you are in fact a fugitive from justice. You cannot contest the issue of your guilt or innocence in this state, the state of Georgia. You are entitled to the advice of counsel in contesting extradition or in deciding whether to waive extradition. If the state of Oregon is unable to extradite you within 30 days, then you will be released, as I said. If you voluntarily decide to waive extradition and return to the state of Oregon, then they will travel back here to transport you back to the state of Oregon. Do you have any questions regarding the extradition process or your rights, sir?
No, sir. No, ma'am. I have no question.
Okay, would you like to waive extradition or contest extradition?
I like to sign the paperwork, so.
So that means you will be waiving. Do you understand that that will be waiving the extradition? And then that means you're agreeing to voluntary return to the state of Oregon to answer the charge against you. You understand that? Okay. So the deputies will have 5 to 7 copies of the waiver of extradition for you to sign. Once you sign, they will then send it to me for me to sign. Once I return it back to the sheriff's office, then the extradition process will proceed. You understand that? Do you have any questions, sir? Okay. Thank you. So deputies, you will give him the extradition forms to sign. So I still have 2 other defendants.
Yes, ma'am, we got the
Go ahead.
We have the extradition paperwork, which he's signing now, and the
Okay.
other paperwork you should have already received in the email.
Okay, so I'm gonna briefly go off the record. Give me maybe 5 to 10 minutes to review the criminal history. It should take me 5 to 8 minutes to review it, and then I'll come back on the record and do the other 2 inmates.
Before you go off, Deputy